The Alan and Nesta Ferguson Charitable Trust Master Scholarship is here again. Hello guys, my name is Dolapo, and if you're new to my channel, I film about fully funded scholarships for international students to study master's or undergraduate studies abroad. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing the Alan and Nesta Ferguson Charitable Trust Master Scholarship, which is currently open for international students to apply to. Now, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know why I'm so excited about this scholarship. That is because almost 4 years ago, this was a scholarship I was awarded. I was able to come to the UK to study a master's degree in public health and international development. And honestly, this scholarship opened so many amazing opportunities and doors for me. And I'm always excited to share or talk about it whenever I see that the applications are open. I've actually had a lot of scholarship recipients, that is actually recipients of this scholarship, reach out to me and actually, tell me about how these videos have been helpful to them. So that is why I'm here again. This year it's opened and I would love for you to apply if you're eligible for this scholarship. Now let's talk about it. Now, it says here that the Alan and Nesta Ferguson Charitable Trust Scholarship, they are delighted to offer 3 scholarships for eligible overseas fee-paying students that are starting their studies in September of 2026. So if that sounds like you, then definitely keep watching. Now, this scholarship is actually offered by different universities, but in today's video, I'm going to be sharing this scholarship from the University of Sheffield. Now, it's important to take note of the fact that other universities as well may also be offering the same Alan and Nesta Ferguson Charitable Trust Master Scholarship. So I will also advise you to check out other universities and see if you can apply to those universities as well, just to increase your chances of success in applying for the scholarship. Okay, so we're going to talk about the University of Sheffield today. And it says here that the University of Sheffield has a strong commitment to international development. And one of the themes of their strategy is celebrating, promoting, and increasing the volume of the work that they do to improve the lives of others through their international relationships locally and abroad. Now, in this year 2026, there are 3 scholarships that are available to academically strong individuals from developing countries. Now, it says here that each scholarship offers the following: a full tuition fee waiver and a 12,500 maintenance stipend. Now, full tuition fee waiver means that your entire tuition fee, 100%, is going to be paid for. And on top of that, you will receive a 12,500 maintenance stipend, which you can use for your rent, to pay for your rent, your bills, transportation, feeding, and things like that. Now, if you haven't checked my previous video, I talked about another fully funded scholarship that is currently open to international students as well, especially women in STEM. And that particular scholarship was offering £40,000. So if you haven't checked out that video, I'm going to leave the link here for you to check it out. But let's go back to the Alan and Nesta Ferguson Charitable Trust Scholarship. Now, it says there's an eligibility criteria for this year. And it says here that to be eligible to apply, you must hold an offer for one of the following courses to study at the University of Sheffield in the 2026-2027 academic year by Friday, 8th of May 2026. So basically saying that by 8th of May 2026, you must hold an offer any of these courses to be eligible to apply. Now, what are these courses? They've listed it out here. One is an International Development MSc. The second one is International Law and Global Justice, International Political Economy, Global Journalism, and International Public and Political Communication. Now, these are the courses that are eligible. So if you apply for any course that is outside of these 5 courses, then you will not be eligible. So please take note of that. And it's also important that you apply for these courses as soon as possible, because you need to have held an offer to be eligible for this scholarship. Now, it also says that you must be classified as overseas for tuition fee purposes. You must not already hold a qualification that is of an equivalent or higher level to the course you are applying for. And this includes courses studied online. Number 4, you must not have previously studied outside of your country of residence. So please take note of that. Then you must be self-funded to receive this award, meaning that you must not be funded by a research council, government, private enterprise, charity, or any similar organization. The next eligibility criteria is that this scholarship cannot be awarded in conjunction with any other funding awards, either from the University of Sheffield or external sources. It says here also that your mode of attendance must be full-time. So if you're planning to apply for a part-time course, then you will not be eligible for this scholarship. That's what they're saying. And it also says that you must begin your studies at the University of Sheffield in 2026. So this scholarship cannot be deferred. So you have to make sure that you have all your documents in place to be able to apply and hold an offer. And you must be able to begin your studies this year, 2026. It says that the receipt of the scholarship is subject to successfully meeting any conditions attached to your offer before the deadline. Now, what sort of conditions can the admission service bring? Some of the conditions I've seen or I've heard is either they're asking for an English language requirement. So, for example, they want you to submit an IELTS or TOEFL just to prove your English language proficiency. Another form of condition they may attach to your offer is if, for example, they need one particular document from you. Maybe, for example, the translation of your document. If your documents are not in English, like your diploma or your transcripts, they may need some translation. Sometimes it may just be that they need like maybe a reference from you. Sometimes it may be that, there's a particular condition attached to that particular course, maybe some sort of experience, some sort of skills or something. There are different conditions that they may attach to your offer. So it's important to take note of that immediately you see an email from them asking to, basically submit any documents because of any condition attached to your offer, you should try and respond as soon as possible and make sure that you have all your documents ready in case they need it. It also says that the receipt of the scholarship is subject to successfully receiving a visa to study at the university in September of 2026. Then it says that you must be permanently domiciled in one of the countries or territories listed below. And these are countries that are classified as low or middle income countries by the World Bank in 2025. And we're going to have a look at those eligible countries soon. It also says that successful applicants will be asked to accept their course offer and evidence their visa application by set dates. And this date will be confirmed as part of the award notification. Now let's have a look at all of the eligible countries. So these are the list of eligible countries and it's listed out in alphabetical order. So take a look and see if your country is here and you are from any of these countries listed here and you are permanently domiciled in any of these countries, then it means that you are eligible to apply for this scholarship. So please take note of that as well. Now, there are lots of low and middle income countries here. So, for example, if you're from Nigeria, Nigeria is eligible for this scholarship. If you're from Ghana, Ghana is eligible for this scholarship as well. If you're from India, India. So, there are so many low and middle income countries here that are listed out. So, please check out if your country is here and do apply if it is. Now, how to apply? It says here that shortlisted applicants will be invited to apply. And if you have not been contacted by the end of the day on Friday, 15th of May 2026, then it means that you have not been selected. It's important to check your emails because they would contact those who have been invited to apply for the scholarship by Friday, the 15th of May or on Friday, the 15th of May. So basically what that means is that you have to submit a really strong application when you're applying for your course. So let's say, for example, you were interested in applying for any of these courses that are eligible, any of these 5 courses. Make sure that you also put in your application, for example, your personal statement, your interest in applying for the Alan and Esther Ferguson scholarship. Make sure that you state it there so they know they are interested in applying for the scholarship. Also, make sure that you submit a strong application. Let them see that you have experience either in international development or any of these particular courses. Or even if you don't have experience, let them know that, okay, this course is something you're really passionate about. And because you want to go into the field of international development, for example, you want to study a master's in it so that you can sharpen your skills and your knowledge about it. So just show the enthusiasm for the course you're applying for. Show strong enthusiasm for it because that's what will set you apart from all other applicants as well. And like I said earlier, make it clear that you'd be applying for this particular scholarship in your application for the course. It's very important. If not, they wouldn't know that you are interested in applying for the scholarship. So it says here that applicants will be sent an application form. So that means that if you have been shortlisted to apply, they will send you an application form to complete by 1 p.m. on Monday, 1st of June 2026. And no applications will be accepted after this time. Then it says that all scholarship applicants would then be contacted regarding the outcome of the application before the end of the day on Friday, 5th of July 2026. Now, what is the selection process? It says that this is a competitive process and not all applications will be successful, but shortlisted applicants will be chosen based on their course application. A panel of senior members of staff will select the strongest applications and will be looking to see that applicants have a strong academic profile or you have provided a clear rationale for applying for a postgraduate course at the University of Sheffield. You have outlined examples of work experience in the field of international development. You have clearly articulated future ambitions. So these goals relate to the postgraduate degree you have applied for and how your learning may benefit others. Where applications are equal standing, priority will be given to underrepresented groups. And if you have any questions about the scholarship, they have put an email here for you to send an email for any of your questions. So it's important to take note of this when you're applying for your courses, because these are what the scholarship panel will be looking out for: a strong academic profile, a clear rationale for applying for the course you want to study, examples of any work experience in the field of international development, just like I mentioned earlier, your future ambition. So I've talked about this in my video. I do have a video talking about how to write a scholarship letter, and I'm going to link that video here, so please go check that video out. Basically, I explained like a step-by-step process on how to outline your goals or your future goals, why you want to apply for the course you want to study, and all of that. So I've detailed that in that video, so please go watch it. But basically what they are saying, that they want to see your future ambitions. What are your 5-year, 10-year goals? What do you plan to do? How do you plan to do it? Is very important as well. Not just the what, but the how as well. That's something that a lot of scholarship applicants miss. And then also they are saying here that priority will be given to underrepresented groups if there's any application of equal standing. That's it about the Alan and Esther Ferguson scholarship. So remember, go check out any of these courses and apply for them as soon as possible, because you need to have held an offer by the 8th of May. So let's say, for example, you wanted to study international development. You can search for study and go to postgraduate taught courses. And then here you see the course title, which is international development. So this is an example. Remember that there are 5 eligible courses, so you can search for any of them depending on the one you're interested in. So this is international development MSc. So this is the course essentially. So you click on it, and when you click on it, it tells you basically about the course, when it's starting. It's a 1-year course and it's full-time. So it basically says that you can apply now, and this is the course description, basically what the course is about. They also have a kind of optional field class, and I remember doing a field class as well, which was very, very nice. We went to Nepal for the field class, and it was a great experience. So I really recommend it. It also says that your placement experience, basically your dissertation is replacement, and basically what our advice is, read about the course essentially, and that will give you more information about it. And also, it's important for you to look at the eligibility criteria to apply for the course. And if you go to entry requirements, basically to apply for the course, it says that you need to have a minimum of 2-1 undergraduate honors degree in a relevant subject. And it says here that we accept degrees in the following subject areas: so any arts, humanities, social science, medicine, public health. So these are kind of like the subject areas that they accept degrees in. Then they also assess each application on the basis of the applicant's preparation and achievement as a whole. We may accept applicants whose qualifications don't meet the published entry criteria, but they have other experience that are relevant to the course. It's important that you basically make sure that you submit a strong application. So if, for example, you don't have a 2-1, for example, but you've had really good experience in the field of international development, then do apply. because it says here that if you have any other experience relevant to the course, they would consider your application as well. Now, these are the entry requirements. Basically, remember I talked about having like IELTS and all of that. So most courses you would need to have an English language requirement, and in this case they have put IELTS. For example, I need to have 6.5 with 6 in each component or university equivalent, and other English language qualifications that they accept. If you click on that, it will show you, and it should just take you to the page where you can see all the other English language requirements. So for international qualifications, it talks about basically all the other ones that you need and all of that. So please have a look on that page if you have any questions or if you are not sure. Then it also says that we will not ask you to provide references as part of your application, and we do not require a supporting statement for this program. That's very interesting, because most programs require a supporting statement and references. So that's very interesting. So it's important that whichever document you're asked to submit, try and still put in your or express your interest for the scholarship, and also try to sell yourself. So whichever kind of document they're asking for, try and see if there's a way you can put in your interest for the scholarship, and basically a strong application showing that this is a course you're really passionate about and something that you can contribute to greatly as well. Now, of course, the fees and funding, if you're planning to apply for the scholarship, you don't have to worry too much about it because you're applying for the scholarship. But basically, if you click on apply now, it will then take you to an application form. This is the application form, and you have to fill the application form, and that's where you submit all of your documents like your transcript, your diploma, and any other document that you are required. It will tell you basically what you need to submit, and it will guide you. It's usually a very when I used it, it was quite user friendly, so you don't have to worry. If you have been offered a place on the course, then you would hear back from them via email, and once you've done that, like they said in the scholarship, you don't have to apply separately. Essentially, you would be considered if you are eligible for the scholarship. So that's something to take note of. So I really hope that this video has been helpful, and if it has, please do like, share, and leave a comment. If you have any questions, feel free to leave your questions in the comment section, and I'll try to answer them as much as I can. See you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.